Because the controversy on the word consumers are really miffed about this is that they sign all sorts of agreements, they agree on all sorts of things, but they don't fulfill their part in terms of the basic provision. And now the NERC says, well, if you have a dispute, if you're disputing your bill, you can hold on to that bill, pay the previous one until you're sorted out. But the reality is that when you have that bill, they even stamp on your bill, for those who are on the estimated one, they stamp it and tell you, it's marked for disconnection as they are bringing the bill. And here are people who have never defaulted for a day. And then in those cases, they tell you, no, you have to pay first before you come and we listen to you.
Let me give you a typical example. And I have to say this on here. One, Tony is not right to say that the current Pt.2, the current tariff order, is what gives Nigerians that power. It's been there inherently. You should go and check dispute handling procedures of the NERC. There are detailed dispute handling procedures and mechanisms under the regulatory framework of the power sector. Extensive. I mean, it constitutes about 2 chapters in my book, and I've also written on that. That's one. Secondly, I am personally facing something in that for our office. We kept having these bills. We contested it. We wrote the forum. We wrote everybody. And we kept paying the actual amount that was the amount we were paying before the astronomical increase. Nobody did anything. Guess what we have? A suit is just being filed as of today.
In court? In
court. If I could face that, despite my stake in this sector, and imagine millions of Nigerians, it's not realistic. They are paper theories.
What would you suggest they do in the meantime? Because it would seem that they're caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. On the one hand, they say that we cannot get electricity, constant electricity, or reasonable supply if they don't increase tariffs. And at the same time, they also have to give meters, which would require some liquidity, as it were, at a reasonable tariff rate. What would you suggest that they do?
The consumers?
No, the DISCOs and GENCOs and NERC.
I think it's the recent tariff increase is generating needless tension. No serious smart businessman or person will go that way. They should stem the tide a bit, enter into negotiation, shift grants slightly, give incentive to consumers, stabilize power generation and distribution that will make Nigerians happy.
You don't think that cap me, I mean, as a method is working?
Cap me has never worked.
Why?
Thank you very much, because cap me will never work, because when the consumers are supposed to advance money, a kind of credit,
which a lot of consumers are willing to do, but they say that even the Pt.2 or
they've done it, but they didn't get the meter.
Let me explain the way it works to you. I've said it several times in the studio. If you advance X amount of money under CAPME, then you're going to get a kind of response from them 3 months later. The interval, your bill is going to start speeding, climbing seriously. You're going to accumulate extensive liabilities within that period of your demand for meter under CAPME structure.
Well, that's if you're what? Under the
moment you apply.
Why, they note you specially?
No, because they know that you're going to be off the radar. And so you'll be made to pay as much.
Has it happened to anybody before?
It's happened to me. The moment we demanded prepaid meters, the bill that was in the realm of about 5,000 naira, 15, 20, 30, I would try to contest it. It was getting to 200,000. It's okay. You know what? You have applied for your prepaid meter. I say yes. Okay. Pay off these bills. Hey, I'm still contesting these bills. We can't do anything on the first pay off.
But will it make sense what Babajide says here? Says the only way that discourse can be made to step up metering is by making new tariff only applicable for the metered.
That's what we are saying.
Is that disaggregated?
That's disaggregated. I talk of paying for what is consumed. I said in this studio that it is illegal to bill consumers for power they never consume. I said it is criminal to consume and not pay. So if you're going to increase tariffs, let it be applicable to only entities, homes that are under prepaid meters, so that they can adjust and control their levels of consumption. Blanket application of the new tariff order is going to create serious distortion.
I'm looking at Anthony's mail, and he's saying that this goes. Okay, now let's take it from here. It says that they're saying that they cannot supply meters. It says like MTN or Glo saying they can't supply enough cell phones. Of course they can't. Why not leave this to consumers and accredited suppliers while the discos do calibration after installation?
That's it.
You think that would work?
That will work. You see,
if people were to buy their own meters by themselves and only call PHCN to calibrate it?
That's an option. That will still lead to the same suggestion. Paying for actual consumption. Nigerians should be allowed to purchase meters.
What about standardization?
But see, NERC is also having that duty to regulate the standardized things. So NERC should work with, of course, anytime, the law says NERC is in charge of those who are in electricity sector, including those who are trading. So metering, of course, comes within the ambit of trading. So it's within their purview. They can regulate that. That's an option, a viable one for that matter. Hey, I want to go undercap me, or I want to buy my meter, calibrate it, put me there, let me pay for what I'm consuming. Oh. But the discourse, of course, there's more to that. They're under pressure from the banks. And the banks are also under pressure from the intercreditor lenders offshore. And the problem is, I said here, the problem why we are in this challenge is that, one, those entities merely got funds for purposes of acquisition. We call it acquisition financing. They never had what it takes to take the respective discourse, maybe some of them, from point A to point B after acquiring it.
So clearly we've got a challenge in our hands between Labour, who are in the thick of things here, with the regulatory bodies. Can they find a common ground? Well, that will be what we'll look out for to see if that happens. Well, thank you for coming on. Dr. Yemioka is an energy consultant, also a lecturer in energy law, also a lecturer in law, Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. Thank you for coming on.
It's a pleasure.
Well, that is where we draw the curtains today. We appreciate all your comments. We encourage you to keep them coming through, hoping that the NERC will respond, find time to respond to a lot of your comments here. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Osal.
Thank you so much. I'm Maokwe Ogun.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman Alede.